Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Om Adnyanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Today we'll be reading from the book Path of Perfection by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. We'll be reading from the 4th chapter. Samam kayo shiro grivam dharayan achalam stiraha sampreksha nasikagram svam dishaschanavalokayan प्रशांतात्मा विगतभिर्ब्रह्मचारी व्रते स्थितः मनः संयम्य मच्चित्तो युक्त आसीत मत्परः. One should hold one's body. Now, here, Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna the Ashtanga Yoga process in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And all the specifications, all the details of the Ashtanga Yoga process, Krishna is beginning to explain. So, how one should sit, how one should deal with the material world, what should be the position of the nose, position of the eyes, right, of the mind, everything Krishna tells in these two verses. One should hold one's body, neck, and head erect in a straight position, in a straight line, and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. Samam kayo shiro grivam dharayan achala sthiraha. Kaya refers to the body. Kaya shira, samam, straight. Achalaha, not moving. Sthiraha, fixed. Sampreksha nasikagram swam. One should look at the nasika agra. Agra means the tip. Nasikagra. Just like about when there is description of the soul, it is given Balagra Shatabhagasya. Bala Agra, the tip of a hair. Bala Agra. Similarly, a Nasika Agra. Nasika Agra, one has to sit straight, erect position, and his back, spine Neck and Shira, head, should be in the straight line, and his eyes should be focusing on the tip of the nose. Prashantatma vigathabhir brahmachari vrate sthitaha. He should be unagitated, subdued mind, prashantatma, completely free from sex life. Brahmachari vrate sthitaha. Not even regulated sex life, completely free from sex life. Manah samyamya matchitta. In such state, he should meditate upon me. Yukta asita matparaha. Engaged in such a way, he should make me the ultimate goal of life. Matparaha. Yoga does not mean going to some class, paying some money, engaging in gymnastics, and then returning home to drink, smoke, and engage in sex. This is what the most of the people around the world they're doing. Once in a week or once in a while, they go for some yoga class, paying some money to some so-called fancy guru, and that guru allows the disciple to do any nonsense. And once in a while, he can come for the yoga class, do some exercise, do some breathing, and close your eyes and sleep for some while sitting there, and then come back home and again start all the drinking, smoking, and sex life. Such yoga is practiced by societies of the cheaters and the cheated. The authoritative yoga system is here outlined by the supreme authority, Sri Krishna himself. Is there a better yogi than Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead? That is why he is called as Yogeshwara. He is the controller, he is the master of all the yogis. Is there a better yogi than Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead? First of all, one has to go alone to a holy place and sit in a straight line, holding one's body, neck, and head erect, and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Why is this? This is a method to help concentrate one's mind. That's all. The real purpose of yoga, however, is to keep oneself always aware that Lord Krishna is within. The goal of doing all this, going to a secluded place, sitting in a straight posture, staring at the tip of the nose, trying to meditate inside the heart on the Supreme Personality of God. All the goal of all this is to constantly engage the mind in Krishna. Constantly keep the mind in Krishna. As Krishna says, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasate. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmanaha. One who is always keeping me in his heart. Right? So to come to that level, to do that, one has to do all this. Is keeping holding his one's body, neck, and head erect, stare steadily at the tip of the. Krishna is advising this to Arjuna, but if you look at the devotees of ISKCON, they are never sitting like this. You'll hardly find any devotee who is sitting erect and chanting, Hare Krishna. They're always wandering, they're always here and there doing something or else. Of course, while chanting, they do focus on the holy name. They do meditate on, as it is instructed by Srila Prabhupada, they meditate on the sound vibration of Krishna. So, the comparison is, while chanting the Hare Krishna mantra when you're walking, if you are able to focus on the Harinam, if you are able to focus, if you are able to hear clearly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and you are walking, the goal is achieved. Your mind is focused on Krishna. Right? So that is why, and sometimes devotees do, not sometimes, every day, they do lot of kirtan, very ecstatic kirtans every day in the morning, right? What are they doing? They are actually doing yoga. Because the purpose of yoga is to meditate on Krishna. And while dancing with the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, if you are able to engage your mind completely in that Harinam, then it is the topmost yoga system. That is why Bhakti Yoga is the topmost yoga system. You need not do all the breathing exercises. You need not do the sitting of, the keeping the body straight, mind, everything. Nothing required. If by dancing, if you are able to keep your mind in Krishna, dance and do it. While walking, if you are able to keep your mind in Krishna, walk and do it. While doing deity worship, you are able to keep your mind in Krishna, do deity worship. While cooking, if you are able to keep your mind on Krishna, do cooking for Krishna. Right? Such a wonderful process Srila Prabhupada has given us. Right? All the activities are centered around Krishna. We did not go separately, leaving aside everything and sit in a secluded place and try to engage your mind. That is very difficult in this age of Kali Yuga. Right? So the Acharya is being very merciful. The most merciful Acharya of our age, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada, he has given us a wonderful method. We are engaged in so many activities. Engage those activities in Krishna's service. What can be a better engagement than that? If you are cooking, cook for Krishna. You are doing some work in computer, do that for Krishna. You are a good manager, do that manager work for Krishna. So many things. So this is a method to help concentrate one's mind. That's all. The real purpose of yoga, however, is to keep oneself always aware that Lord Krishna is within. One of the dangers of sitting in meditation and staring at the tip of one's nose is that one will fall asleep. I have seen many so-called meditators sitting like this and snoring. Srila Prabhupada is sharing his own experience. As soon as one closes his eyes, it is natural to feel sleepy. Therefore, it is recommended that the eyes are half closed. Thus, it is said that one should look at the tip of the nose. With one's sight thus concentrated, the mind should be subdued and agitated. In India, the yogi often goes to a jungle to practice such meditation in solitude. But in a jungle, the yogi may think maybe some tiger or snake is coming. What is that noise? In this way, his mind may be agitated. Therefore, it is especially stated that the yogi must be devoid of fear. A deer skin is especially recommended as a yoga asana because it contains a chemical property that repels snakes. Thus, the yogi will not be disturbed by serpents. Whatever the case, serpents, tigers, or lions, one can be truly fearless only when he is established in Krishna consciousness. Due to perverted memory, the conditioned soul is naturally fearful. Fear is due to forgetting one's eternal relationship with Krishna. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhayam Dvitiya Bhiniveshatah Syat Ishat Apetasya Vipraryo Viparyayo Smritihi. Bhayam Dvitiya Bhiniveshatah Syat. Krishna consciousness provides the only true basis for fearlessness. Therefore, perfect practice of yoga is not possible for one who is not Krishna conscious. The yogi must also be completely free from sex life. If one indulges in sex, one cannot concentrate. One cannot concentrate. Therefore, brahmacharya, complete celibacy, is recommended to make the mind steady. By practicing celibacy, one cultivates determination. One modern example of such determination is that of Mahatma Gandhi, who was determined to resist the powerful British Empire by means of non-violence. At this time, India was dependent on the British and the people had no weapons. The Britishers, being more powerful, easily cut down whatever violent revolutions the people attempted. Therefore, Gandhi resorted to non-violence, non-cooperation. I shall not fight with the Britishers, he declared, and even if they react with violence, I shall remain non-violent. In this way, the world will sympathize with us. Such a policy required a great amount of determination, and Gandhi's determination was very strong because he was a brahmachari. Although he had children and a wife, he renounced sex at the age of 36. It was this sexual renunciation that enabled him to be so determined that he was able to lead his country and drive the British from India. Thus, refraining from sex enables one to be very determined and powerful. It is not necessary to do anything else. This is a secret people are not aware of. If you want to do something with determination, you have to refrain from sex, regardless of the process, regardless of the process, be it Hatha Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, or whatever. Sex indulgence is not allowed. Sex is allowed only for householders who want to beget good children and raise them in Krishna consciousness. Sex is not meant for sense enjoyment, although enjoyment is there by nature. Unless there is some enjoyment, why should one assume the responsibility of begetting children? That is the secret of nature's gift, but we should not take advantage of it. These are the secrets of life. By taking advantage and indulging in sex life, we are simply wasting our time. If one tells you, become a yogi, he is cheating you. If one tells you that, sorry, if one tells you that you can indulge in sex as much as you like and at the same time become a yogi, he is cheating you. If some so-called guru tells you to give him money in exchange for some mantra and that you can go on and engage in all kinds of nonsense, he is just cheating you, because we want something sublime and yet want it cheaply. We put ourselves in a position to be cheated. This means that we actually want to be cheated. If we want something valuable, we must pay for it. We cannot expect to walk into a jewelry store and demand the most valuable jewel for a mere 10 cents. No, we must pay a great deal. Similarly, we must Similarly, if we want perfection in yoga, we have to pay by abstaining from sex. Perfection in yoga is not something childish. And Bhagavad Gita instructs us that if we try to make yoga into something childish, we will be cheated. There are many cheaters awaiting us, waiting to take our money, giving us nothing, and then leaving. But according to Sri Krishna's authoritative statement in Bhagavad Gita, one must be completely free from sex life. Being free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. Brahmachari vrate sthitaha. This is real meditation. Krishna does not recommend meditation on the void. He specifically states meditates upon me, right? People have invented so many ways of meditation. They say, some people say meditate on some sound, some absurd sound, some vague sound, not a specific sound. They say meditate on some sound. They say meditate on some light, right? They make the room dark and put a light candle at the corner of the room and they say meditate on that, the flame in the candle, right? All these things people have invented. But Krishna, what Krishna says, the Yogeshwara Krishna, what he says, meditate upon me. The Vishnu Murti is situated in one's heart, and meditation upon him is the object of yoga. This is the Sankhya Yoga system, as first practiced by Lord Kapila Deva, an incarnation of God. By sitting straight, staring steadily at the tip of one's nose, subduing one's mind and abstaining from sex. One may be able to concentrate the mind on the Vishnu Murti situated within the heart. When we refer to the Vishnu form or Vishnu Murti, we refer to Krishna. In this Krishna consciousness movement, we are meditating directly on Sri Krishna. This is a process of practical meditation. The members of this movement are concentrating their minds on Krishna regardless of their particular occupation. One may be working in the garden and digging in the earth, but he is thinking, I'm cultivating beautiful roses to offer to Krishna. One may be cooking in the kitchen, but he is always thinking, I am preparing palatable food to be offered to Krishna. Similarly, chanting and dancing in the temple are forms of meditation on Krishna. Thus, the boys and girls in this society for Krishna consciousness are perfect yogis because they are meditating on Krishna 24 hours a day. See how Srila Prabhupada has molded our lives in such a way that we are 24 hours thinking of Krishna, engaged in Krishna. We are teaching provided we properly follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. In the middle of engaging our activities, our mind, our intelligence, our body, kaya, vacha, manasa, in the service of Krishna, there are chances that we may get distracted, right? Because we have so many weapons of Maya around us. We are very, very vulnerable to the attack of Maya. We are teaching the perfect yoga system, not according to our personal whims, but according to the authority of Bhagavad Gita. Again, is very important point, Srila Prabhupada says. The yoga system, what is preached in the parampara of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, it is not something whimsical. Nobody in the system, the parampara system, has invented their own yoga system. No. This yoga system was first taught to Vivashwan, sun god. He taught to Manu, then Manu taught to Ikshvaku, and the Rajarshi parampara it came down. And then, because it was lost in the middle, two ways it gets lost. One is the knowledge is not passed down at all, or it is passed down by making some changes, by adding or subtracting something. Then it is lost. So this way the knowledge was lost, and that is why Krishna says again, sa evayam mayate adhya yoga proktah puratanaha. The same yoga system, the Puratana yoga system, I am repeating to you again, O Arjuna. And again Krishna speaks his Bhagavad Gita, and this Bhagavad Gita was recorded by Srila Vyasadeva, and in the parampara we are receiving it from Srila Prabhupada. So there are no whimsical processes in this parampara, right? The process of yoga, what we are following, is authorized by Bhagavad Gita. Nothing is concocted or manufactured. The verses of Bhagavad Gita are there for all to see, right? If anybody wants to know where Krishna is telling meditate upon me, okay, I have heard many people telling that meditate on some sound, meditate on some jyoti, meditate on some light. Where is it mentioned? Where does Krishna say? So Bhagavad Gita verses are very clear. Krishna says so many places in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, meditate upon me. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Manmana bhava mad bhakto. Madhyaji mam namaskuru. Krishna says, Manmana, always keep me in your mind. Right? Many places Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Matchitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi. Matchitta. Keep me in your mind. Matchitta. Always think of me. Matchitta satatam. Always think of me. Keep your chitta filled with me. So the verses of Bhagavad Gita are there for all to see. Anybody can come and check. The activities of the bhakti yogis in this movement are so molded that the practitioners cannot help but think of Krishna at all times, right? Meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life, Sri Krishna says. This is the perfect yoga system, and one who practices it prepares himself to be transferred to Krishna Loka. So, this is the preparation. If at all we want to get out of this nasty world, we have to follow this. Yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi niyatamanasa shantim nirvana paramam matsamstham adhigacchati. Yunjannevam sadatmanam, one who is always engaged. Yogi niyatamanasa, his body, mind, and activities are always engaged. Thus, practicing the control of the body, mind, and activities, the mystic transcendentalist attains to the kingdom of God. Mat samstham adhigacchati. Mat samstham refers to Krishna's own abode, the abode of Krishna, by cessation of material existence. Shantim nirvana paramam. It is stated in the Sanskrit, it is stated in Sanskrit in this verse, Shantim nirvana paramam, that is, one attains peace through nirvana paramam, on the cessation of material activities. Nirvana does not refer to void, but to putting an end to materialistic activities. Unless one puts an end to them, there is no question of peace. When Hiranyakashipu asked his 5-year-old son Prahlad Maharaj, "My dear boy, what is the best thing you have thus far learned?" Prahlada immediately replied, "Tat sadhumanne asuravarya dehinam sada samudvigna dhyama sadgrahat." My dear father, tat sadhumanne asuravarya dehinam. Asuravarya, the greatest of the demons. He is addressing his own father as the greatest of all demons. Materialistic people are always full of anxiety because they have accepted as real that which is not permanent. Tat sadhu manne sada samudvigna dhyam asat grahat. Asat grahat. Sat is Shashvat. Asat means ashashvat, non-permanent. We are in Graha, the house which is non-permanent. And that is why we are always full of anxiety. Samudvigna dhyam. The word asat grahad is important because it indicates that materialists are always hankering to capture or possess something that is non-permanent. History affords us many examples, right? All those people who went behind the non-permanent thing, what all happened to them? Mr. Kennedy was a very rich man who wanted to become president, and he spent a great deal of money to attain that elevated position. Yet, although he had a nice wife, children, and the presidency, everything was finished within a second. In the material world, people are always trying to capture something that is non-permanent. Unfortunately, people do not come to their senses and realize, I am permanent, I am spirit soul. Why I am hankering after something that is non-permanent? We are always busy acquiring comforts for this material body without considering that today, tomorrow, or in 100 years, this body will be finished. This body is perishable. It will be perished. As far as the real I is concerned, I am spirit soul. I have no birth. I have no death. What then is my proper function? When we act on the material platform, We are engaged in bodily functions. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj says that people are anxious because all their activities are targeted to capturing and possessing something non permanent. All living entities, men, beasts, birds, and whatever, are always full of anxiety, right? You see a bird trying to eat something, so many times it will look left, right, always full of fear. Somebody will come and catch me, right? A dog passing on the road, always fearful. Similarly, humans, always there is fear. We don't know when will the next pandemic will come. We don't know when will the next demonetization will come. We don't know when will some terrorists may come and attack our city. We don't know when another flight may crash. Right? It all looks very inauspicious talk, but we should be fully aware. Such thing may happen to me also at any point of time, right? So when we act on the material platform, we are engaged in bodily functions. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj says that the people are anxious because all their activities are targeted to capturing and possessing something which is non-permanent. All living entities, men, beasts, birds, or whatever, are always full of anxiety, and this is the material disease. If we are always full of anxiety, how can we attain peace? People may live in a very nice house, but out front they place signs saying, beware of dog, right? Or no trespassers. This means that although they are living comfortably, they are anxious that someone will come and molest them, right? Sitting in an office and earning a very good salary, a man is always thinking, oh, I hope I don't lose this position, right? Especially in the cities like Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, all those people who are working in, highly paid, right? Every month they get their big salary, right? But still they are scared. Any moment their job may be taken away, right? The American nation is very rich, but because of this, it has to maintain a great defense force, right? So what is free from, so who is free from anxiety? The conclusion is that if we want peace without anxiety, we have to come to Krishna consciousness. There is no alternative. In order to attain peace, we must meditate on Krishna, and by meditating on Krishna, we can control the body. The first part of the body, the first part of the body to control is the tongue, and the next part is the genital. When these are controlled, everything is controlled. The tongue is controlled by chanting and eating Krishna Prasad. As soon as the tongue is controlled, the stomach is controlled, and the next, the genitals are controlled. Actually, controlling the body and mind is very simple process. When the mind is fixed on Krishna and has no other engagement, it is automatically controlled. Activities should be always centered on working for Krishna, gardening, typing, cooking, cleaning, whatever. By engaging the body, mind, and activities in the service of Krishna, one attains the supreme nirvana which abides in Krishna. Everything is in Krishna, therefore, we cannot find peace outside Krishna conscious activities. The ultimate goal of yoga is thus clearly explained. Yoga is not meant for attaining any kind of material facility, it is to enable the cessation of all material existence. As long as we require some material facilities, we will get them. But these facilities will not solve the problems of life. I have traveled throughout the world, and it is my opinion that American boys and girls have the best material facilities. But does this mean that they have attained peace? Can anyone say, yes, I am completely peaceful? If this is so, why American youngsters so frustrated and confused, right? Most of the Indians, they they are becoming more and more foolish to follow the Western culture, right? But you see, the Westerners, The youngsters especially, they are frustrated, they are confused, they are taking to drugs, they are committing suicides. As long as we practice yoga in order to attain some material facility, there will be no question of peace, right? As long as we perform yoga for material facility, you cannot expect peace. Yoga should only be practiced in order to understand Krishna. Yoga is meant for the establishment of our lost relationship with Krishna, right? Generally, one joins a yoga society in order to improve his health, to reduce fat. People in rich nations eat more, become fat, and then pay exorbitant prices to so-called yoga instructors in order to reduce. People try to reduce by all these artificial gymnastics. They do not understand that if they just eat vegetables or fruits and grains, they will never get fat. People get fat because they eat voraciously, because they eat meat. People who eat voraciously suffer from diabetes, overweight, heart attacks, etc. And those who eat insufficiently suffer from tuberculosis. Therefore, moderation is required, and moderation in eating means that we eat only that is needed to keep the body and soul together. If we eat more than we need or less, we will become diseased. All this is explained in the following verse. नाति अश्नतस्तु योगोस्ति न चैकान्तम् अनश्नतः न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुना. It's about eating and sleeping. There is no possibility of one's becoming a yogi or Arjuna if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or does not sleep enough. The next verse we'll take up in our next session. Thank you all for joining this session. Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.